We're in Knowle.
We're in Knowle.
And Knowle is kind of a suburb of Birmingham. It's
Really
quite a
nice.
lovely little community. There is a beautiful old church with an interesting story behind it. The people of Knowle used to have to make a 6-mile walk across a dangerous river, which at the time was a dangerous river and is now apparently like a smaller irrigation brook. But it was risky enough that a local, more affluent gentleman decided to build the church. It's a beautiful church made by basically one guy as his sort of gift to the community that stopped their 6-mile walks, and it's rather interesting and ornate and very actively in use, so I didn't actually go in. And large graveyard full of lots of
Dead people?
well, dead people, but also lots of fascinating different types of headstones and memorials and things, including a lot of ones that are so covered in lichen and weeds that you can't really tell what they say. And one squirrel who seemed to have been just dead set on stealing the nuts of the dead. But
We passed it every day because we've been here a week, and we've kind of got into a bit of a routine of going for a daily walk, because you can just walk all the way to town with George off the lead down a nice little lane. There's a field to throw for him. And then you pass the church and you're in town, and in town you've got everything you need. We've got a bit of a shortbread cookie addiction at the Tesco's. There's lots of charity shops.
which keeps our DVDs sort of stock up.
And there was a pub with a really good Wi-Fi, so we got about 12 videos uploaded.
Which is how we began this whole December thing. So it's been really good. We've basically not stood still for this long for months. Like, I think we had 3 days at one point, way back when, north of London.
It started raining.
Right. So given the occasional cutting style, sudden appearance of umbrella. We've been sitting in Knowle for a week because it's been extremely difficult for us to get coal. Like, basically the last time we saw a place that sold coal was at the Tewkesbury Marina, and the price there was extravagant. So
we didn't get much coal.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a captive audience, I guess. So anyway, we didn't get much coal, and we've been heading further north hoping to find some
We thought
place.
we're heading into Birmingham and it's bound to be a place.
Yeah, and there's nothing.
So we decided we'd probably need to find a delivery, and there was a few places that do bulk delivery, but we don't want 40 bags.
Because we can only do a smaller amount, most of the online places would do that, but we'd be waiting kind of forever.
And you pay a premium.
You pay a premium. So luckily Joe did a little bit of searching and found a fuel boat company that their fuel boat isn't actually along here, but they do deliveries occasionally.
By van.
And we're sort of outside their normal area, so we had to schedule a little bit ahead of time. So tomorrow they will be arriving at Catherine de Barnes, which is a few miles that way.
So yeah, we got here on Sunday. Then on Monday, we found out we'd be here for a week. And you kind of go through this, okay, we can relax, we can have a few days off, we can do some work, it's nice. And then after 2 or 3 days, you're like, oh, I'm itching to go. I had enough, want to cruise, need new scenery. And then after about 5 or 6 days, you're like,
I never want to move again.
I'm so comfortable here. Life's
Let's just
easy.
stay in one place.
How do you cruise?
Yeah, I've forgotten what ropes are for.
So we've had quite a late start this morning.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's only a 3-mile trip with no locks and few bridges and one aqueduct, so there shouldn't be any particular challenges or anything.
We thought this morning we would show you our morning routine for a cruising day. So things that we do on the boat before we get going. Usually we're quite sleepy and grumpy when we do it, so we don't film it. But
yeah.
So we've had breakfast. We have propped the bed up because we lift our bed to give it an airing.
We've taken George for a walk.
We haven't lit the fire today because it's really quite mild. It's probably like 6 or 7 degrees.
Yeah.
So when we're cruising, if it's freezing and like the boat is freezing inside or it's frozen overnight, we'll light the fire for the cruise, but otherwise we won't bother if it's mild like this because you just don't need to. It takes a couple of hours to warm up, but it's
not too bad.
Like, we don't keep it going overnight when it's not freezing.
Yeah.
So there's no point lighting it when we're leaving first thing in the morning.
Also, when you're on the back and there's puffs of smoke coming out, it can be a little bit just annoying to the eyeballs. So basically we just have to take the chimney down because there's still some hot gases from last night that might come out, so we have to put the small chimney on there.
Every morning we empty the ash out. Actually, we didn't do it for 2 days, so there's a lot of ash to empty out.
And we've had our solar panels tilted, so we got to take those down.
Well, the first thing you should do is the engine, so it's warming up.
Yeah, we start the engine and we warm it up for a few minutes. If we were going to be doing a lot of maneuvering, like for locks and stuff, it'd have to warm up for about 10 to 15 minutes before it's really ready to go without trouble. The engine's really good, but it basically just, when you start shifting back and forth and you haven't warmed up properly, it has a tendency to kind of sputter and stall. So,
but we've got it straight, really. So
yeah, and essentially no locks or anything. So basically, we need about 5 minutes of the engine actually running. It'll take us longer than that just to get the solar panels down. I have to check the diesel just to see where we're at for diesel. Engine check-wise, I just have to check the oil, make sure that the coolant hasn't gone anywhere, make sure that none of the belts are, no longer intact, and then we're good to go. So it's fairly simple checks.
Yeah.
We need a laundry, we need water.
We need a waste point.
We need a waste point.
Just because
we've got, recycling and garbage and stuff.
Just because we haven't moved for a week, so it's all kind of piling up.
Yeah. So basically there's just that sort of accumulation of needs, which hopefully we will find a point where we can do some of those.
Yeah, there's one at the junction, the end of this section, just before Birmingham.
Okay, so we won't find it for a while, but we'll find it eventually. In the meantime, we will accumulate more stuff on the front of the boat. And essentially, I'm just trying to check that we actually still have diesel.
Whatever you do, don't drop it in. Half a tank.
Yeah. So another part of the regular everyday mooring and morning routine is to get George's ball out of the canal, because he has decided that he needs it to be hydrated. Want it? You don't want it? Okay. Belts are in place. That one's a little loose. The other one I tested a couple days ago, it's fine. But I'll wait on trying to tighten that one up till it's a little bit warmer in here. And it's just verifying that we've got oil, and it's still the same oil, because we've never had an oil leak of any sort. It could happen, but it hasn't happened yet. So belts are intact, coolant is at a normal level, that's good. Last week I had to tighten up some of the Jubilee clips around one of the hoses, because we did get a coolant leak and we dropped down to very little, but it looks like we haven't lost any since, so I think I did that job okay. Everything else looks intact and fine. Now, make sure we're in neutral, not super far ahead.
Morning.
Morning. Engine on.
So we are all done, ready to go. One job we forgot to mention was picking up George's poo. George likes to prepare for the journey by depositing his
Deposits.
So we have to pick those up, obviously. Oh, the other thing we have to do is record a little intro for our vlog and set up the GoPros.
Yeah, and get everything prepared to record.
But we're in quite the routine, so it's all right.
I'm seriously going to take that ball away.
All right, you ready to go?
Yeah. head, we could make it onto EA waters again.
Trying to work out if we need, because we need to renew our licence at the end of the month. Should we get
I'm tall.
should we get a gold licence or a normal licence?
They should have a platinum license. They should have like a carbon license for people who are really cheap. Something. I don't know.
I don't know what you get for a carbon licence.
So that's 3 miles up to Catherine de Barnes. Clearly closer to an airport because there's all these planes coming in on sort of landing trajectory. And George seemed to have fun.
Well,
We were up a ball. We were nearly up 2 balls.
and then George lost a ball. His favourite thing to do is to scan. I didn't lose it. How did I lose it? I never touched it.
She didn't pay attention to where George left the ball.
The last
George
thing you
was
said
like,
was-
oh, something of interest.
Last thing you said was, George, I'll take that ball off you. Did you take it off him? No.
No. I'm just saying that, like, whenever George loses the ball and I'm the one who's been doing
Whose fault it is?
it's my fault. When you and he are together and the ball goes missing and I clearly have nothing to do with it,
It's George's
somehow
fault.
it's always George's fault.
We have got to Catherine de Barnes. We did have a GoPro on the back, but Michael, he doesn't like being filmed at the back. He feels like I'm spying on him.
I went to turn on the Eberspacher so we'd have some warm water when we pulled up, and I knocked over the GoPro, so there's probably a little clip of it going smack, and it's just been
In time lapse, it'll be very quick.
Yeah, very quick. So it's like 3 frames, boom, and then there's just this sedentary shot, I'm sure, of the wooden floor it's pointed at. So that could be kind of funny.
Anyway, we got to Catherine de Barnes, and it turns out we couldn't have picked a better spot to get a coal delivery.
Yeah, because there's a road coming down right here. So he should be able to pull his pickup truck right there, come down right here,
And just unload the
unload
coal.
in like 30 seconds and be off. We should be well stocked with coal
Oh, that's good news.
tomorrow morning. And then we've got to
We-
head up into Solihull.
We need to work out what to do. I was thinking we should, because you know I need to be in Birmingham on the 12th.
Yes.
I'm wondering if what will work out that we're more in Birmingham on the 12th.
Maybe we can figure that out.
George is really muddy.
Yeah, well, you're going to spray him down.
How?
Bathtub. Thanks for watching. Like the bell, click the comment, subscribe, hit the thumbs up.
He no longer cares.
Thanks for watching.
That's fine, that's the one that's going in.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. I'll take like the bell. Good morning.
Yes. Morning.
Yes.
It is.
I am Bane.
I am Bane. Bane, who has decided to be in all number of movies I shouldn't be related to. Charlie, do you have the golden ticket? I make George laugh as well. I make Joe laugh sometimes by
Accidentally
slipping into Bane, and I've recently thought it was funny to put Bane into scenes Bane wouldn't make sense in. So at some point we should do Bane TV as well, but
You can't handle the truth, do that.
you can't handle the truth.
It's funny, it makes me laugh every time.
Yeah.
Even when I know it's coming.
It doesn't make any sense, but I am your father. It's just weird. You put Bane into just about anything and it's funny. So Sound of Music. I should do Sound of Music. No,
The hills are
Yeah.
alive.
not quite.
It's going to be
And-
the umbrella.
Okay, she's gonna go get the umbrella because that's a continuity here and a half.
Hey.
Scrotalicious.
Michael's new name for George is, disturbing.
I just created a word. That's all.
Anyway,
There's a catch. There's like what's the word? What's the word that people use for this sort of thing? My brain as I'm getting older.
the word.
Double standard.
It's just called having a wife, Michael.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a point.
Such a hard life having a wife.
It's not a hard life having a wife. It's a hard wife. It's a hard knock wife for me.
Do it, Spain.
It's a hard knock life for me.
Anyway,
Bane!